Alright, this is the Garter Steel Recoil Spring Guide installation video for a Tokyo Marui Glock 17. Here it is. This is actually a double set with the spring guide and hammer spring as well. I'm not going to be doing the hammer spring in this video. May as well explain why. What I found was when I installed the hammer spring, the slide would only rack about halfway, and it would go the rest of the way, but you had to reef it back, and then when it was sliding forward it would stick there again. And when I looked into it on the internet, apparently it's a common problem. The increased hammer spring was designed for old Tokyo Marui guns. The new guns like 2009, 2010 pistols don't need them anymore. One website even said that the best case scenario is that they have no improvement, but at least they have no disimprovement. So that just says it all. So I'm not going to be doing that, so I'm just going to be doing the guide rod. So it sounds like a pretty pointless video because it's so obvious how to change it, but really the reason for the video is just to share my own experience and a few pointers when fitting this. So there's the guide rod there. It looks almost exactly the same to the one inside the Glock already. Quick safety check. Magazine out. Rack the slide. No BB. Gun is safe. Okay. So we're going to break it down. Standard breakdown like this. If you don't know how to do that, check out another video. And inside we have the original spring guide, rod and spring here. So that just comes out like that, and then in theory the 150% spring just goes in its place like that. Now that looks like it's done, but I didn't like it. I'll explain why. Right, for a start, it's not very smooth. It doesn't go in very well, and I don't know if you can hear that on the video, but it's very loud here. It's a sort of scratching noise, and the slide doesn't move very smoothly at all, so I decided to take it out and do a bit of experimenting, and this is what I came up with. What I found was the 150% spring on the Garter slide makes the whole thing much stiffer, much harder to push back this way. And the significant difference is that on the original one, this little piece that holds the spring in place and slides is plastic, whereas on the Garter one it's steel. And it's that piece, the steel piece, that makes it scratch so much. So this is what I did. Hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate in the video now. What I did was, I took the original spring guide and as carefully as I could without breaking it, the thing popped off the plastic guide along here. Then you're not going to need any of this anymore. This is the old guide rod, the 100% spring, so put that to the side. Now the Garter one comes apart a bit easier. Move the spring out of the way, and then the end cap actually screws off like so. And there's your 150% spring. You can actually see by comparison to the original one, it's quite a bit longer. Now, this is my pro tip, which is to remove the steel guide piece and replace it with the original plastic one. So now we're kind of mixing and matching between the original parts and the new parts. So that slides on there like that. The new spring goes up. Requires a little bit of teasing to get it on because it's not exactly right for it, but it fits quite nicely there. And then bunch the whole spring up again. Oh Jesus. And screw the end cap back on. Hands are quite slippy, there's grease all over this damn thing. Okay, now you're done. So you've got the new guide rod which incidentally looks a lot nicer. You can see the original one was scratched to pieces, and it was pretty much like that already. So you got the new one, which is all black. You got the 150% spring, but you got the original plastic guide piece here. Then that all goes back in like that. Slide goes back onto frame, and as you can see, the whole thing slides a lot smoother with a little extra bite from the 150% spring. And there it is. Thanks for watching.